4 on the year from Peary, Utah. And just like that, we are underway.
A little bit of motion attack here from Nicolai Rivera. Little double knee drop fake. Rivera controlling that elbow early on. Another fake.
And Utah lost to the Iowa Hawkeyes last time out, but Ricks earned a impressive victory.
Little inside trip attempt from Ricks. Countered nicely by Rivera in on his own shot.
But Ricks earned the upset victory over number 15, Cooper Flynn from Chattanooga. And Flynn was disqualified for 5 stall calls in the contest.
Right.
Ricks trying to pick up where he left off, spinning around Rivera. Some strong defense, but now Ricks is on top.
Yeah, great job with the Winn-Dixie roll by Ricks. You don't see that often. Ricks looking to grind some riding time out of this. Rivera looking to clear some hands. Looking for a little roll, right back on top. Rivera gets the reversal.
And Sean, we have seen this matchup before. Ricks lost 1-5 to Nicolai Rivera earlier this year at the Cyclone Invitational last month. But already you can see Ricks, an extra surge of aggression, has given him the lead. That set a strong response from Rivera.
This is 2 matches in a row for Rivera where he gives up that early takedown, but let's see if he can claw his way back like he did last time.
Yeah, Rivera was taken down very early by Curtis Nelson from Lock Haven. As we said before, Rivera able to respond, did win by decision.
Rivera doing a good job so far, staying on top, working that claw. As I say that, Bridger Ricks stands up, but return to the mat by Rivera.
Utah Valley in year 2 of the Adam Hall era. And just last year, some serious signs of growth. Utah Valley 2 wins 2 years ago. Year 1 with Adam Hall, he won 7.
Impressive stuff. Good turnaround for that program. Love to see it.
Another 3-2 early on in the year.
Ref stoppage, back to the middle. Ricks remains on bottom. Looking to stand up. Rivera looking for a standing tilt. No back points awarded for that effort. Rivera looking for wrist control. Keeping that ankle ride nice and tight. Rivera looking for a 2-on-1 now. Transitioning to a claw ride. Ricks fighting for hands, looking to stand up.
Rivera so wiry, so firm with his control.
Rivera looking to throw a leg in.
Ricks back on his feet. Running out of time to get the escape point. He's close to it. Final seconds ticking down. And it was not quite enough.
Yeah, great job by Rivera, just holding on to that leg. You can afford to give up that stall call, but you can't afford to give up that escape point. And luckily, he didn't give up either. Rivera starts period number 2 on the bottom.
And Sean, that was so close. Felt like an extra maybe 2 seconds, and Ricks would have been able to scamper away.
Less than 2, honestly. Rivera was just holding on by an ankle. Another half a second, he might have got hit with that stall call.
Now it's Rivera's turn to break free, but he's hunting for more.
Looking for a neck wrench when he hasn't even gotten the escape yet. Something I've never seen before, but, you know, Nicolai Rivera, anything is possible.
Rivera described as unorthodox, but the results speak for themselves. The hometown kid back with the lead.
Rivera working the edge of the mat here. Looking at that tight claw ride with that wrist in the back pocket. Gets called for stalling. Back to the middle. 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining in the second period.
Give another look at that takedown.
Just a beauty. Nicolai Rivera has some of the best hips, I think, on this entire Badgers squad. Quick escape from Bridger Ricks. Back to their feet.
Yeah, speaking of quick hips. Back down to 2.
Nikolai Rivera pursuing that Russian arm tie. Looking for a duck, doesn't get it. Bridger Ricks keeping up the pressure. .35 seconds remaining in the second period.
Ricks, a 4-time Utah state champion in high school.
Rivera looking for a duck. Stuffed pretty well by Ricks. Rivera looking for that reshot, keeping that overhook.
And that will take us to period number 3. Rivera, a 2-point lead. And we talked about how Wisconsin, they had 5 total wins last year, and now they started 6-0 on the year. An incredible turnaround. You got to think of the big reason why the Badgers have had so much success is that Nikolai Rivera has stuck with this program. And he's credited to the fact that Wisconsin, one of the very first to recruit him, he wasn't exactly a super highly touted prospect right away. But when someone gets there first, it shows they believe in you, and he has rewarded the Badgers with a plethora of production.
Absolutely. Looking to produce a little bit more now in a scramble with Ricks. Ricks looking to sit that corner, hook that ankle.
And Ricks has cut the deficit to 1.
Rivera in a potentially dangerous position. Not quite in the natural way, but in the him giving up back way. Rivera keeps his hips high. He could walk away from this with 3 points. Still a scramble, could go either way.
And Rivera got that right leg over Ricks. You said it, Sean, trying to wheel around, but just no strategy for either competitor.
Yeah, but that's bound to happen, you know.
Well, 1 minute left in period 3. Ricks nearly got the takedown.
Ricks
and
did.
now they will give it to him.
Nearly got the back points too. 45 seconds left. Rivera has points of riding time as of right now. Ricks got that takedown just early enough to be able to whittle that down if he rides Rivera for the remainder of the period.
Bridger Ricks on the verge of a major upset to set the tone for the Wolverines.
Has that cradle locked up nice and tight.
Nikolai Rivera, 9-0.
That record is in jeopardy right now, Vince. Rivera's got to do something.
Ricks 10 seconds away from the upset. Rivera, no time to waste. Final seconds ticking down. And that will do it.
Not quite, Vince. We have overtime. Rivera has that point of riding time.
Right.
Rivera looks tired.
Yeah, my apologies for that. He had 1:07, so just enough.
Rivera looking gassed. Let's see if he has anything left in the tank. Looking sluggish. Ricks on the attack. Ricks looking deep on the shot. Looking to finish. Rivera in a scramble situation. Got that far ankle. Ricks applying pressure. Both have an ankle. Looking to roll around a little bit. See who ends up on top. Higher hips
Rivera
wins.
holding on for dear life, but Ricks wheels around and he has got it. 9-0 becomes 9-1 for Nikolai Rivera. What a job by Bridger Ricks.
Yeah, if you're Utah Valley, this is the best way you want to start. Get yourself an upset victory. Get your 133 ready to go.
And for Ricks, he knocked down number 15, Cooper Flynn from Chattanooga. Now knows a decision when he was probably wanting a little more. That said, his opponent, number 27, Gable Strickland, Nothing to be taken lightly.
Some light hand fighting starting the first period of match number 2.
Utah Valley, this is Geronimo Rivera, 2-5 on the year. Won the USAW Folk Style Nationals and Ultimate Tiebreaker. And Rivera, when he won that, to become one of the better high school wrestlers in the nation, he said afterwards, I was just more mentally tough than he was about his opponent. And he's put that mental toughness on display this year. He started 0-5, but has won his last 2.
Looking to make that 3 against Zan Fugit. Rivera looking very comfortable in that 3-point wrestling stance. Looking for an attack here. Fugit putting on the pressure.
Fugit 8-1 on the year.
Fugit looking to close that gap. Little fake by Fugit. Little clear there by Geronimo Rivera. One minute and 10 seconds remaining in the first period. Little low ankle attempt by Rivera. Brings Rivera up to his feet. Going for a little slide by is Fugit. Unsuccessful. Looking to maybe try an elbow pass here. Nice job clearing the collar by Geronimo Rivera. Little ankle pick attempt from Geronimo Rivera, unsuccessful. Good defense by Zan Fugit. 25 seconds remain in the first period. Still scoreless. Got over-unders here.
Yeah, not much so far, but you got to say, Sean, Rivera is the big underdog. It's a spot that he'd love to be in. Now he will claim the lead with a takedown.
Yeah, what a beautiful knee pick right there from Rivera. Completely caught Fugit off guard.
We have already seen one major upset in round 1. And now number 7 ranked Zan Fugit finds himself down to the true freshman Geronimo Rivera.
Yeah, going back on bottom, starting a little safe position here. See if he can get an escape and go back to his feet and reclaim that lead. Fugit going for a sit here as Rivera throws that right boot in. Figure 4ing on Fugit's right leg. Fugit in a quad bod. Rivera bails on that leg ride. Rivera doing a good job keeping Zan Fugit down on the mat. Good job covering his hips.
A lot of red in the crowd, but a few splashes of green where the Wolverines travel well.
Rivera looking for a roll through tilt. Nothing quite yet. No exposure. He's got one swipe. No points so far. Once again, only one swipe. Good defense there by Zan Fugit.
Fugit in survival mode with 1 minute left in the second period.
Rivera wrestling a very, very physical match. First stalling call against Zan Fugit. Rivera looking for that deep armbar on Fugit's left arm. Fugit back into a short sit position, getting his hips under him. Fugit fighting hands. And returns to the mat. 30 seconds remain in the second.
And Fugit started down in this period. Still
Fugit
fighting, got back on his feet, and said he'll get a reversal.
Yeah, just a little adjustment with his hips there. Rivera got undisciplined with that little tilt, and Fugit took advantage.
Final seconds ticking down in period number 2. And Fugit prevents the escape point. It is a 1-point bout as we head to period 3.
Gritty match we have right here. Rivera started very strong, but Fugit is slowly working to inch his way back in. Rivera doing a very good job being physical. A little bit early at the end of the first period, kind of smushed Fugit's face into the mat, but seems to not have an effect on Fugit. Only down by 1 point.
We know that Rivera plays with some personality, and he has backed it up so far against one of the nation's best.
Zan Fugit with the optional start, giving the escape to Rivera. Back on our feet with 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the third period. Fugit looking to score. Overtie here by Zan Fugit. A little bit of a snap down by Geronimo Rivera.
Time continuing to tick away. Fugit has not pulled the trigger just yet.
Fugit looking for his opportunity, and that might be it. Looking for the single, looking to finish.
Oh, and somehow Rivera able to scamper away.
So far. And no gain. Just when we thought Fugit had the takedown, Rivera pulls off insane defense. Doing a good job rotating his hips, flipping them, using the edge of the mat, staying alive in this match.
An incredible defensive move from the freshman. We have already seen one incredible upset. Will we see another one, perhaps even greater? Number 7, Zan Fugit, needs a takedown, has 30 seconds to get one.
Shot by Rivera, looking for a go behind his Fugit.
Rivera secures ride time.
Once again, fantastic defense from Geronimo Rivera.
Nine seconds left for one of the nation's best. Wisconsin on the verge of back-to-back upset losses from two of their best.
Fugit on the ropes here. Does he have anything left in him?
Rivera walls him off, and can you believe it? The Badgers send their best at the Wolverines, but what a response. Geronimo Rivera, his third straight victory. He saves his best for last. Victories. Hayden Drury, undoubtedly the favorite, ranked 17th. Taking on Carson Exford, who lost via tech fall in the first half of this doubleheader.
Drury starting
duel, I should say.
Excuse me. Drury starting strong here with a attempted Russian tie. Defended well by Exford.
Drury 9-3 on the year. Exford 5-5. And Drury has had a prolific career as a Wolverine. 70-30 overall. That said, he's coming off a 1-12 loss to Nasir Bailey from Iowa.
And Nasir Bailey, the transfer from Little Rock, bumped up from 133 to 141, and no slouch. So as we await the conclusion of this blood time.
Well, as we touched on before, this is Adam Hall's second year at the helm, and you could just tell that last year he was really working hard, and he said himself he's been exhausted in the past. The big thing to learn is that you can't do everything. You got to focus on fixing one thing at a time. And he has continued to be just a slam dunk hire. Did an incredible job at NC State. Now looking to bring another program to some success.
2 minutes and 10 seconds remain in the first. Continuous hand fighting. A drag attempt from Carson Exford. Looking at an underhook from Hayden Drury.
And Sean, a lot of times you think of upsets, it can fire up your teammates. But is Exford almost in a position where he's like, well, I mean, it was my teammates who got upset, but upset on his mind nonetheless. It's been a theme.
Apparently, crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
So, no, he's never out of any match. Good fake by Carson Exford. Outside attempt from Hayden Drury. Looking for the re-attack is Exford. Back to our feet. Ooh. Deep outside single for Hayden Drury, looking to finish. Good defense so far from Exford, but Drury really bringing him away from the edge of the mat.
Could tell Exford trying to escape and return to the center of the mat, but Drury not letting him go just yet.
Ooh. Elusive is Exford. Working his butt off on the edge of this mat here.
Drury close to the takedown, and there you have it. He fought for it, and he got it. And now, and only now, will Exford be allowed to head back to center.
25 seconds left in the first. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait for that.
And Exford did the best he could to survive. You could just see, Sean, that he was trying to escape and get out of bounds, but terrific awareness from Drury to recognize where he was.
Yeah. No easy feat regardless, so.
Is that something that just comes natural, or?
Definitely got to practice it. You know, a little bit of flexibility in there too. But if your Drury, wins at your back in that sort of situation.
And he's a redshirt senior, so undoubtedly been in that situation before, knows where he is at all times. And it felt like he was on the verge of that takedown for minutes on end, and he has got it. Now he's back to work. 15 seconds left in period number 1.
Exford fighting for that escape. Big lift from Drury. Exford back on his feet. Hayden Drury with a leg in. No escape for Exford. There is a stall call on Hayden Drury.
Well, you gotta think Drury was content to hang out and just avoid that escape at all costs.
Yep.
Now a 3-0 lead heading into period number 2.
Yeah, smart strategy by Drury. Starting the second off strong. Rolling down. Drury on bottom. Exford with the leg in on top. Stalling against Exford. Yeah, bold strategy here by Drury, and it just might work out for him. He's physically holding Carson Exford's hand.
And what was that doing, Sean?
Well, Carson Exford, since he was on top, he would immediately be charged with the stalling call as opposed to Drury had they been in that position when they're both on their feet. It's almost stalling on Exford because Exford is not returning him to the mat. So Drury could have just escaped about 10 seconds ago, but by holding Exford's hand there, he got an extra stalling call, and, you know, he can put that in his back pocket for later.
Midway through period 2. Exford just unable to launch an effective attack so far as Drury has played some terrific defense after showcasing the offense in period 1.
Outside single attempt from Carson Exford. Defended nicely by Drury. Ooh, sweep single from Hayden Drury. Exford looking for that whizzer. Fortunately, Drury will elevate that leg. Not looking good for Exford as Hayden Drury secures his takedown.
The Wolverines have already ambushed the Badgers. They lead 6-0 through 2 rounds. You got to think Drury has bonus points on his mind right now. Exford again closing out a period, battling for an escape point. But again, he will get none.
Yeah, Hayden Drury really knows how to close out a period here as we enter the 3rd period. A little bit more blood time. In case there wasn't enough so far, Biz. Yeah, just a really good job from Hayden Drury finishing those shots, those awkward positions on the edge of that single leg.
And Sean, you were talking before how the Badgers, they just had that meet a few hours ago, but you said they'd be amped up, ready to roll for this one. It seems like that Utah really just has ambushed them in a way that the Badgers just were not ready for.
Yeah, obviously Utah Valley is well rested. Wisconsin's coming off that dual victory, you know. A victory is a victory, but that's still going to be tiring for your starters. But so far it's just been a dominant showing from Utah Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not like these Wisconsin wrestlers aren't used to having multiple matches in somewhat quick succession. It's just been nothing short of a tremendous start for Adam Hall's Wolverines.
Carson Exford looking for that escape. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. Exford remaining in that quad pod. Drury doing a good job of bringing that down, keeping Exford on the mat. Drury doing a good job wrestling on the edge of the mat. Clock stops at 1 minute and 11 seconds.
It's kind of been the theme of this round, Sean, is Exford just not quite able to get those escape points.
Yeah.
And Drury just continuing to hold on. Do you think there's a chance he'll let Exford go and try and get bonus points?
I think the best situation for Drury is just to continue to ride out on top. He finishes his ride on top, he'll be at 7-0 with the additional riding time point, which will bring him to 8-0, that extra bonus point. So if you're Carson Exford, you got to get out, and you got to get out now.
Drury at 1:26 of ride time.
And just like that, Drury cuts Exford. That second stall on Drury gave Carson Exford 1 extra point, so that is the decision to cut him. They're back on their feet.
Now Drury needs a takedown for bonus points. His team already leading 6-0.
Yep, deep on that outside single leg, he just might get it. Carson Exford, you have to imagine, is fighting with everything he has to hold on right now.
Drury with plenty of time to work.
Exford fighting hands. Drury switching to a single leg.
And Drury has got it. The lead up to 8.
Exford looking to earn that escape back.
One last chance to get a badly needed escape point. As it stands, Wolverines trying for 4 more points to their ledger.
Nine seconds remain. Exford wants a reversal here if he wants to chip away one of Utah Valley's team points. Caution here from Carson Exford. Bumps out. 5 seconds remain. Looking for the escape. And Drury holds on.
Hayden Drury increases his team's lead to 10, moves to 10-3 on the year. And Adam Hall has spoke about growing this program, improve Joseph Zargo. 7-1, ranked number 16 in the nation at the 149 weight class against Cade Craig, the redshirt sophomore from Gooding, Idaho. 2-2.
Fortunately, Joseph Zargo is in the lineup looking to get some points back. Craig in on a shot, looking to finish. Good defense by Joseph Zargo, getting his leg back, tying back up. Joseph Zargo with a clean far ankle pick. Right to a cut.
And Zargo coming off of an injury. He has kept every ounce of agility. And you said, Sean, last meet that not only was he injured, it was maybe the most important part of his body.
Oh, absolutely. And you can tell he hasn't missed a beat.
It was his hips who took damage, but now Zargo Sips have given him back-to-back takedowns.
Zargo with 2 takedowns and consequentially 2 cuts. Looking for a third takedown. Snatches that ankle on the edge of the mat. Looking to drag Craig back in.
Remarkable. 9-2 the lead. Zargo undoubtedly with tech fall on his mind as Craig goes barreling towards Trace Browning, our camera operator.
1 minute and 20 seconds left in the first period.
Sean, do you think the deficit that the Badgers are in has influenced Zargo's philosophy?
You would think, but this is just who Joe Zargo is. You know, 6 of his last 7 matches have been, 6 of his last 7 wins have been tech falls. And the only one that wasn't was a major decision. So Joseph Zargo has always been about scoring points, and he's at his best every time he scores. It's almost like a moxie thing, you know. When he keeps scoring, he starts to get hot. It's good luck for whoever he's wrestling.
And a 4th takedown makes it a 9-point lead. Zargo's most recent tech fall came against Lucas Capusta, who was ranked 28th. He was one of the better wrestlers in the MAC and for Lock Haven, but Zargo just a dominant victory. And he has, as you said, Sean, just picked up where he has left off.
Absolutely, yeah. About 20 seconds left in the first period. Stalemate. As they return to their feet, Zargo looking to pick off one more takedown into the second. Kid Craig just fighting to hang on here. He does it again. Zargo with another cross ankle pick. That seems to be his favorite takedown of the night.
And a 15.5 takedown period for Joseph Zargo. What a start.
Yeah, just what the Badgers need to keep their head in this duel. You know, 10-0, not the deficit you want to be in. But Joseph Zargo is the person to put his team on his back. Head right back into this. Put the Badgers right within striking distance. Oh, and he's looking for the fall.
He wants
and he got
more.
it.
He's got it. Joseph Zargo, 6 badly needed points for the Badgers, and Wisconsin is back in it. Rivera, one of the Badgers' best. He was upset by Bridger Ricks, ranked number 27, but the biggest upset, somehow it was not Rivera, it was Zan Fugit, who fell to Geronimo Rivera, who was 2-5 entering today.
Appears we have some early blood time here. Something to keep track of here. So at the Cyclone Invitational, beginning of the month, I would say,
yep.
Utah Valley and Wisconsin were both at the tournament. So there's been a couple rematches early on. Joseph Zargo actually ducked one against a ranked opponent due to whatever. But no, Meschler is looking for another rematch against Mr. Takara here. Won that last match 14-3. So.
Mark Takara competed at 174 last year. I know.
Quite the cut.
Just how difficult is that, Sean?
It's not easy, but, I mean, if you have time to do it, you have time to do it. Maybe he had just bumped up to 174 because his coach needed him there, but it's not easy getting back down there.
Meschler, 8-2 from Stoughton, Wisconsin, just south of here. And Takara, 8-8, as you mentioned, Sean, lost 3-14 to Meschler at that Iowa State invite.
Yeah, Meshler he's been doing pretty well so far. Obviously gotten that ranking at 28 here, deservingly so.
And that invite was 40 days ago, November 8th. And a lot of early stoppages. You gotta say the crew cleaning up the blood, maybe the early MVP. Got the box of tissues, the spray bottle. It's great to have this staff on hand so we get to watch this beautiful thing go on. And now Adam Hall's gonna swoop in and take a tissue for himself. And Hall, something that he said is that he really treats his profession as a business. And you know that can sound kind of cold and calculating, but Sean, businesses are all about relationships, and Hall has cultivated a bunch, both around his university, his area, and of course with his wrestlers. You can tell they have came out strong for their coach.
Absolutely. First thing you got to do when you have a new coach is that coach has to establish the culture. And evidently so, he's done that quite well.
And Hall was up front with saying that culture was something that he really wanted to improve. That was his primary area of focus. And so there's a major overhaul, as you mentioned before. It was a lot of work for him individually. But of course, 5 more wins from last season. So I felt like that he believed he left something on the table, but I think he really did a tremendous job.
Oh, absolutely. It's paying dividends so far into this duel. Meshler looks for an attempted shot. Must have stumbled. Takara looking for that high crotch. Doesn't get it. Meshler looking for a fake. Meshler fighting for that deep underhook, looking for some snap down action. Looking for that outside shot, has the leg. Looking to switch off to a fireman's potentially. Doesn't get it, back to his feet. Good fake to the outside leg.
Takara able to scoot away, 30 seconds left in period 1. We remain scoreless.
Continued hand fighting going down in the waiting moments of period 1. Takara with a nice high crotch shot. Good defense by Meshler. They're going to create separation, create some space for that trapped leg.
Takara still has that right leg, but time will continue to tick down. You alluded to, Sean, the terrific defense recovery from Meshler. You remain scoreless heading into period 2.
Yeah, initially Takara looked like he got really deep on that shot and he was going to finish, but misstep by Takara and stingy defense by Meshler got him out of that pickle. Takara starting on bottom for this second period. Quad pod up to his feet, trying to create space, turns into him, squares up with Meshler, gets his point, almost got more with a double under hook.
So Takara with the early lead. We've already seen 2 major upsets early on. And Takara hunting for a third, 8-8. Entering today, Meshler 8-2.
Some more hand fighting in this second period. Trading collar ties. Snap down attempt by Takara. Meshler adding the pressure. Meshler putting Takara on the ropes here. Outside attempt by Meshler. Another one. Good reshot attempt by Takara.
And Sean, you have to say that Takara's doing a real nice job to responding against a very aggressive Luke Meshler.
Yeah, Meshler's very aggressive, but the downside to that is it's opening himself up to a couple shots. Takara's gotten deep once or twice, but if he can close out those opportunities, he'll be well on his way to winning this match.
Ride time not much of a factor right now, as we'll have more More blood time. I don't know if I should have said that in such a cheery voice.
Yeah, it seems to be the pattern today's duel is following. I think we took Lock Haven for granted, Vince. There was not a whole lot of stoppage going on there.
Yep.
But now you know what they say. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Surprisingly enough, there are also no pins in that Lock Haven meet.
Yeah, couple tech falls, couple major decisions, no falls.
With the big pin here, Joseph Zargo for the Badgers. Almost single-handedly, not even almost, single-handedly keeping the Badgers in this one.
Victory by Meschler here could put them back in the league. However, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Some more hand fighting with some short time remaining. Both Meschler and Takara looking for an opportunity. It appears that will do it for the second period.
Oh, Meschler tried it with just a few seconds left, but Takara, as he's been all about, was on it. Now, of course, Meschler, no surprise, will start down, escape away from tying this.
Meschler looking to escape. Takara throws in the leg early. Meschler looking to fight hands and gets his escape.
And here we go, tied up at 1:45 left in period 3.
Oh, good cross ankle pick by Meschler. Looking to sit Takara to his butt. Takara does a good job of getting that far leg back. If Meschler wants to score from here, he wants that to almost hike that far leg in. Now he's wants to come out the backside.
And as we've said plenty of times before, just an impressive response by Takara. Just been bend but don't break so far. Meschler's came close, but we remain tied.
Meschler looking to come out the back door. Takara keeping that crotch lock, trying to create as little space for Meschler to move as possible. Best case scenario for Takara. Refs call a stalemate.
Under 1 minute.
Meschler looking to turn into him. And just stingy defense by Mark Takara.
Meschler close once again. Takara with that left hand, keeping Meschler immobilized. Now Meschler spinning around. But again, not quite.
What are we looking at, Vince? This is amazing. And a stall call against Takara. Meschler has the lead with 25 seconds going into the third.
Unreal. And now Takara forced to have show off some extra aggression. Adam Hall is irate. What'd you think of that stall call, Sean?
I see where he was coming from. He was the edge of the mat, and he was asking to be walked off the mat, but he made it a little too obvious, and the refs saw that. Short time here.
Meschler keeping Takara away. 10 seconds left. Does Takara have a final move to his name? But this time it was Meschler who has made the defensive adjustment, and that will do it. Wisconsin, by the skin of its teeth, cuts the deficit to 1. And Mark Tahara, you got to say that you'll undoubtedly feel disappointed, Sean, but that was a heck of an effort.
You tip your cap to Mark Takara.
Ball match. Of course, Wisconsin Volleyball plays in this same arena here at the Fieldhouse, just the home to so many iconic events. Sean, the Fieldhouse back in the 60s used to host college boxing as well. Whew. But now we have the best battle around. Settle it on the mat.
I would argue that's better than boxing, Vince.
I would agree.
Start of the first period. Cody Gable and Zion Trujillo looking for some hand fighting action.
And Trujillo, 3-time Nevada state champion in high school. He was pinned by number 3, Michael Caliendo against Iowa.
Michael Caliendo's no easy match. I'll tell you that much.
And no one from the Hawkeyes is.
Mean collar tie by Gable.
We talked about Gable in the first meet, just how he has an unorthodox style. As Coach has said, his fundamentals are a bit bizarre, but it has worked out very well for him.
Yeah, almost some outside the box wrestling, but
Yeah, he's a redshirt junior, but he's gotten better every year. And it's of course been the case this season as well. 6-1 from McGuanago, Wisconsin. Can't think of a more Wisconsin-sounding town than McGuanago.
yeah, that's got to be at the top of the list. You know, maybe like Economawalk. That's a fun one. But for some wrist control here, halfway through the first period. Cody Gable controlling the center of the mat, pushing Trujillo around the edges. Gable using his pressure to his advantage. Just like that, you know, push-pull, get in on a shot. Re-attack here by Trujillo, though. Looking to close off on the ankle, turn the corner. Gable doing a good job of cutting off his angle. Now they're up to their feet. Gable looking for a scramble opportunity. Almost has it. Might have it. Has it. And now he's got Trujillo's ankle.
The same position we saw, just reversing in the course of 10 seconds.
And within another 10 seconds, they're starting over to their feet.
And Gable, slow to get up.
Appears to be taking a little minute to himself there. Back to the center. So we look to close out the final 30 seconds of the first period. Tied 0-0.
Scoreless so far. There's undoubtedly been action.
Outside attempt by Gable. Re-attack attempts by Trujillo. As we remain on our feet.
Both wrestlers have come close to being on the receiving end of a takedown. It seems like we are destined for naught apiece. It seems like the theme we've seen with these upsets, Sean, is the less time that's left and you're tied, that means the more likely it is that a takedown as the underdog can be the game winner.
Yeah.
So for Trujillo, for it to be tied right now, I gotta think he's feeling pretty good.
Especially, you know, these unranked opponents, they like to keep these matches close because the less points that your opponents, this is going to sound, you know, silly, but the less points your opponent scored, the more you can possibly score, the less you need to score to win the match.
Reducing the sample size, you're saying.
Exactly. It's a lot easier to win a match, you know, 1-3 than it is to win a match 27-25. So keeping it close is going to be the key to success here if you're Zion Trujillo.
He's had a pair of excellent recoveries in period 1. So far through 30 in period 2. Neither party antsy to pull the trigger.
Cody Gable really likes to hang on to that wrist there. Looking for a re-attack. Just re-attack after re-attack after re-attack, it seems.
Midway through period 2, Gable, the 1-point advantage, compliments of the escape.
Trujillo with the collar tie, snap down, nothing. Fake shot, still nothing. Real shot, quite deep. Trujillo looking to finish that high crotch. Gable looking to push his hips in, sit the angle. Very deep whizzer, completely breaks Trujillo's grip. And folks, we're back on our feet.
You think Trujillo came close there, Sean?
Came incredibly close. I honestly don't know how Gable defended that. But very strong hips by Gable, you know, kind of leaning into that unorthodox style of wrestling. But with short time remaining in the second period, looking for some action to close it out.
And with that, we'll head to period 3. Gotta think Trujillo will be starting down, sure enough.
Trujillo attempting a Granby roll. Almost gets caught. And gets his escape.
We are tied up at 1. 1:50 left in period 3.
Gable going on the attack here.
Utah Valley already a pair of unprecedented upsets. And Zion Trujillo, a chance at a third.
Blast double attempt by Cody Gable.
Gable has came close numerous times, as has Trujillo.
Gable looking for the single leg, looking to whip him down, chase that far hip.
Gable
keeping
so
it moving.
Close, but nothing there. Somehow Trujillo has done it again.
Looking to seal off on both legs.
Not quite out of
and
the woods.
He's
Gable
got the
knocks him
takedown.
down and takes the lead. Give Cody Gable credit. He's stuck with it.
Gable looking to keep him, stay behind Trujillo. He's do a good job working on the edge of the mat here. And he brings him back to the center and reclaims possession. Still remains on top.
Trujillo unable to scamper away. Gable only tightening his grip, and now 25 seconds left. Does Zion Trujillo have an attack in him?
Goes for an outside sweep. Not too deep. Gable doing a good job defending there. 10 seconds. Can Trujillo empty the tank?
He's going to do something. He's got to do it now. But it will not quite be enough. Cody Gable weathers the storm, moves to 7. Redshirt sophomore from Santa Quinn, Utah. A chance to make a lifelong memory against Luke Condon.
Condon working early for that underhook. Early hand fighting here. Both wrestlers ear to ear looking for their own collar tie. Hand fighting. Good snap down by Frank. Double leg out of bounds attempted by Luke Condon. As Trevor Frank was going for the go behind, they ran out of bounds. Back to the center with 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining. Very physical collar tie here by Trevor Frank. Condon working to peel those hands off.
And Sean, how do you think Frank is feeling in his first match of the year?
He feels aggressive. He's really, his style is very aggressive, very physical wrestler. You know, and that should suit him against Luke Condon. You know, Frank looks very strong in his collar ties and his personal tie-ups. Right there, he got too strong and he got stuck there. And he was forced out of bounds by Luke Condon, giving up the stall call.
Frank last year is a redshirt freshman. 7-3 on the year, 1-0 in duels. Played football in high school.
Let me guess, linebacker?
Doesn't say.
1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in the first period. Score still 0-0.
You want to talk about being a wrestler, Sean? Frank's 3 biggest hobbies: hunting, going to the gym, and being in the mountains. If that's not wrestling, I don't know what is.
But if you asked him his 4th favorite hobby, it would have been wrestling bears. Well, that goes along with his other hobby, going to the mountains. So Bono begging for a stall call
Yep.
on the edge of the mat there.
That's kind of his signature move we've seen, the jump up from the chair, and
Bono just does not like sitting down. Collar tie here from Luke Condon.
of course, Chris Bono recently inducted into the Iowa State Hall of Fame after a prolific career as a Cyclone.
A bit of some push-pull here from Trevor Frank. Slide by attempt from Frank.
Hasn't been much so far in period one. Both parties with some time to launch an attack. Close out period. But instead, it seems both will let the clock tick down, despite some action in the final seconds.
Luke Condon going to be on bottom for the start of the second period. Explodes out of there. Frank attempts the mat return. Gets it. After a second attempt. Looking for the claw ride. Up to his feet is Condon. Looking for the lift is Frank. Doesn't get it. Fighting inbounds is Condon. And gets his escape. He's got a tight overhook.
Condon with the first point of the round. Leads 1-0. 84 seconds left in period two. But you'd have to say, Sean, all things considered, Frank has done a nice job of holding his own.
Yeah, he's really
His debut, but right on cue. Condon quick to counter. Frank staying upright thus far.
Yeah, Frank doing a good job trying to pull that ankle out. Almost limp leg that. From the corner, Chris Bono throwing his challenge brick. Gets his three-point takedown.
Brick on the mat. In the meantime, a takedown for Condon. And now we'll settle this.
From the looks of it, Vince, I think Bono was a little upset that he didn't initially get the takedown, and then
He got it.
Then he got the takedown, and
it's going to be lock hands call.
Huh.
I wish I could hear what Coach Bono said. There's another look at the brick, TM. But he seemed like he said something to the official and got a laugh from his bench and the crowd behind him. I wonder if he wishes he could have kept that brick maybe.
And goodbye to Wisconsin's challenge brick.
Yeah, Wisconsin loses their challenge. They will keep the takedown. 4-0, 50 seconds left, period two.
Off the whistle, explodes Frank. Frank in the quad pod looking for a cartwheel. Gets it, and that's a reversal for Trevor Frank.
Terrific response for Frank. He is back in it.
30 seconds left.
In period one, both wrestlers on their feet throughout the vast majority of it. In period two, it has been active to say the least.
Kind of looking for that escape, and he gets it.
Ooh, Frank.
Really pushing the pace
Yep.
there. Make sure there's no easy escapes in this match. A little head snap by Trevor Frank. With short time remaining at the end of the second period.
And Condon will head to period number three. A 3-point advantage.
After a little bit of coaching from his corner, Trevor Frank is going down to start the third period. Trevor Frank looking for the quad pod. Condon with the thigh pry. Luke Condon looking to cover his hips here. Trevor Frank with a unsuccessful knee slide. Frank once again working to build up to his feet to the edge of the mat. And Luke Condon pushes him out of bounds. Takes up 35 seconds of the third period.
Ride time dead even. Wisconsin leading 12-10 in the meet after falling behind 10-0. But one big takedown from Frank can flip the script. Condon in the meantime has successfully held on.
Deep claw from Condon. Looking to add pressure to Frank's upper half. Ankle right here. Short sit from Trevor Frank up to a stand-up. And a mat return from Condon.
Oh, and an immediate challenge from Adam Hall. Couldn't quite see what he was pointing at, but he was very adamant and confident.
For my best judgment, you know, after that mat return, I would assume it'd be lock hands.
Yeah.
Right in front of the coach's corner, too. If he saw it, he's going to get it.
Well done.
See how quickly he reached for that challenge, Brick. He knew what he saw.
It's been fun seeing the juxtaposition, the way the coaches tossed the brick.
It's been a fun way to. It's been a little spectacle to watch the brick being thrown today.
Well, Scott Moore, the coach for Lock Haven, just chucked it to the center of the mat.
Yeah. You know, Bono gave it a little sidearm flick.
Yep.
And then, you know, you see the Utah Valley coach just kind of, as soon as he got his hands on it, just got rid of it.
The quick release.
Yes.
Well, Condon will still maintain a lead, regardless of the challenge, but just doing the math in your head here. Frank looking for a takedown for the tie, but you got to think that Wolverines going for the win here as the underdogs. Well, it's extended look, so what do you think, Sean?
I think they'll get it.
Me too. Well, we're over 2. Call upheld despite the confidence of Coach Hall. It stays 5-2, 51 seconds left.
And it's worth noting that both the Badgers and the Wolverines do not have their challenge bricks. So whatever calls are called will stand.
In the course of one period as well, I believe.
Yeah. A big lift here by Luke Condon. Very strong mat return. Looking for another claw ride. Trying to scoop that ankle out. Knee slide from Trevor Frank to get out of bounds. Preserve some clock.
And Condon got that takedown early on in period 3. And Sean, he has just held on the entire time.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very crucial 3 seconds. Because if Luke Condon can get these 3 seconds, that'll put him at 1 minute of riding time. And if he maintains that, then he'll be a little bit safer, you know, with the experience, with the escape and the takedown.
Wouldn't have to hypothetically rely on a last-second escape if he gets taken down.
Exactly.
Oh, you can just tell these two are exhausted.
It's been a battle with these ones.
And here we go.
30 seconds in the third. Quad pod off the whistle for Frank.
And as you talk about, Sean, Condon has ride time for now. Over a minute.
He's got that locked up. He's doing a good job forcing Frank out of bounds, but not giving up those stall calls. You know, pursuing those legs when Frank's about to break free. It's looking like a takedown out of bounds, and that's never going to be called. Excuse me, very rarely going to be called. It's very situational.
Badger faithful getting loud.
Condon has locked up the riding time point, although it doesn't matter.
Oh, and Luke Condon, an emphatic way to end an impressive period. Condon moves to 6-4. Just what an effort, Sean.
Right.
Uhlenhop lost a 1-4 decision to Angelo Ferrari against Iowa, but like we've said, no moral victories, but keeping it close against some of the nation's best, that's undoubtedly an accomplishment. Won the Almano Open last year at his weight class.
Some outside shots to begin the match.
And Anderson, we touched on before, initially went into the transfer portal last season. He wanted to wrestle, he wasn't starting, but Wisconsin convinced him to come back, and he has started every single dual meet.
He's doing a good job, too. He looks to get this front head pinch on Uhlenhop. See if he can make anything happen from it. Stalemate, back to the center. About 2 strides to the left. Good snap here by Anderson. Right into an attack. Right to the legs, looking is Anderson to swim his right arm. Uhlenhop just needs to sit that corner. So far, nothing. Very little motion. And for such a deep shot for Anderson, they're back to their feet within 20 seconds.
For Wisconsin, Sean, we touched on it before, heading to the break, 15 straight points for them after falling behind 10-0. You got to think if you're Uhlenhop, a lot of pressure to take down Anderson because Wisconsin has 2 of their best coming up. Wyatt Ingham, 27th. Braxton Amos, number 9 in the nation.
Yeah, this truly could be the match that decides the outcome of the duel. You know, those are 2 of Wisconsin's best guys. You know, we did say that earlier about 2 of Wisconsin's other best guys, but, you know, this would be less of a heart attack if you're the coach here, so.
Yeah, Rivera and Fugit both upset, but for the Badgers, I mean, they're used to having those 2 at the top set the tone, but now it has been the middle that has responded very well. But neither side ranked in this contest. Either could take it. Uhlenhop needs it to give the Wolverines a chance.
Looking like a heavy hand fight here with the 2 184-pounders. There's 20 seconds remaining in the first period. Outside attempt from Uhlenhop. Looking into a scramble. Anderson's looking for ankles. Uhlenhop looking to hop out the back door. Short time here. See if they want to just sit here. That'll be the first period.
Now, Uhlenhop came close to breaking the lock. But as was the case last round, we'll stay at 0 apiece. And you can see a bit of blood forming on Cale Anderson's right chin. You said before, there's been a lot of blood time throughout. A lot of physicality. Both sides amped up. 2 programs on the rise, no doubt.
Absolutely. Uhlenhop gets the first escape. Could have been a lot worse for Cale Anderson. Had his arm pinched in a potential Granby, but cut his losses and cut Uhlenhop as well. Back on their feet. Collar tie here from both wrestlers. Clears the tie. Blast double attempt from Uhlenhop back to their feet. Cleared by Anderson. Collar and a wrist here for Anderson. Looking for the shot, has the shot. Was in this position before, Vince. Let's see if he can bring home some points with this one. Good job by Uhlenhop scrambling, looking for ankles.
Yeah, Uhlenhop's doing a nice job so far, just grabbing a leg. And it seems like Anderson has came very close numerous times, Sean, as you just talked about.
As long as Uhlenhop can hook his ankle, he would have turned defense into offense and scored a takedown.
He's close, and he has got it.
Takes the 4-0 lead over Cale Anderson, chipping away at that riding time. And he's got the armbar, prying out a wrist here on the opposite side.
Anderson firm against the mat. Going to be tricky to manage an escape point from this.
I think he's got bigger issues than an escape.
And what a job from Caleb Uhlenhop in the second period. 4-0 your score, all four coming in this period.
Anderson choosing neutral in the third period. Early shot by Uhlenhop. Cale Anderson transitions.
Was that surprising to see neutral, Sean?
A little bit. You know, the norm is choosing bottom, getting that first escape, but, you know, after seeing Uhlenhop transition beautifully into that armbar, and if there had been more time in the second period, he might have got that. So I don't hate Bono's decision whatsoever. Funky little position here.
And there'll be another takedown, I believe, for Uhlenhop, sure enough.
Uhlenhop looking to get his leg out, and he does.
Yeah, that's what Adam Hall was yelling at him, and does so successfully.
Gonna stay behind, looking for that ankle ride.
Coach Adam Hall won 6 ACC championships while leading the NC State Wolfpack.
Uhlenhop looking to flatten Anderson here. Anderson wants to try to work that ankle free. And he does, although being broken down first. 30 seconds left in the period. Uhlenhop. Cale Anderson up to his feet, looking for the escape here. Uhlenhop lifts and returns. Another stand up for Anderson, and another lift attempt for Uhlenhop. Anderson back to the center. 13 seconds remaining. Needs a miracle to happen.
We're just seeing Uhlenhop develop this strategy. Period one, not much. You're just going aggressive, more aggressive with every period. It has paid off.
Yeah, just slowing down all of Anderson's attacks. And it will prove effective as he walks away with a major decision. 8-0.
Caleb Uhlenhop, compliments of ride time, gets a bonus point for the Wolverines. And Sean, it is a 1-point meet with 2 rounds to go.
If you're Wisconsin, you have to be a little nervous.
6-5. You just said, Sean, that Utah Valley is going to need an upset. And it's not going to get any easier for them with the heavyweight, Braxton Amos being number 9 in the nation.
Yeah, especially with Amos, the possibility for bonus points is all too likely. You know, he wrestles with that swagger, that moxie, and he's just ready to. He's got such a proficient Greco-Roman background as well, where anytime he sees that opening, he's going to go for that big throw, those extra points. So if you're Utah Valley, you need this win. Mean club here from White Ingham. High crotch attempt from Ingham, stuffed by Benny. Ingham grabbing that left elbow. Looking for a pass. Reattack here by Benny. Stuffed by Ingham. Another reattack by Ingham. Stuffed by Benny. Looking for a go behind is Benny. Ingham's in a tough spot here. He's got his leg up in the air with a whizzer. Benny just looking to clear that left arm, and he's up to his feet. Good spot here for Benny, looking to finish that high single. Fantastic roll by Ingham.
Oh, somehow Ingham able to push his counterpart aside. I felt like we were destined for 3-0.
Yeah, you see those rolls all the time, but I don't think I've seen one as clean as that. Wyatt Ingham remains on his feet.
And he took 8th at Big 12 Nationals last year, used to competing against some of the best. Out of Layton, Utah.
Collar tie here from Benny. .30 seconds left in the first period. Scoreless. Collar tie for Ingham. Fighting for wrist control. Ankle pick attempt by Benny. Shut down by Ingham. Looking for a snap and go. Ingham looking to turn that corner. Hook that ankle, and he's got the 3 points.
A decisive move to end the period. Wyatt Ingham heads to period 2 with a 3-0 advantage.
Benny will defer the choice to Ingham, and Ingham is back on his feet looking for one more. Outside attempt from Benny. Looking for that angle. Benny peel on the hands. Ducked out by Ingham. Looking for some more contact. Good fake by Ingham. Ooh, outside attempt. Good re-attack by Ingham. Right back to the legs. And he's got another takedown.
Ingham wants more. Continuing to drive through. Now Benny
Escape
earns
for
his first point of the escape.
Another shot here by Benny. Front headlock for Wyatt Ingham, looking to score. Stalemate. If you're Cale Benny, you cannot take those unset up shots, because as he's proven twice before, 3 times now, Wyatt Ingham will provide a reattack and will get back to those legs.
Benny held up Ingham best he could. It was not enough. Another takedown for the redshirt freshman.
Closing out a stellar second period.
Yeah, another takedown right at the end of the period, to your point, Sean.
Ingham's doing a really good job this match, wrestling to the end of the period. You know, 2 back-to-back takedowns ending the period. You know, those first 3 points to start the match, and then those last 3 to get him to 9 at the end of the second.
We talked about how Benny needs a win to keep the Wolverines in it. But now, Ingham in line for a major decision.
Ingham here looking to dig out a wrist on top. Looking for claw ride. Benny up to his feet. Fighting hands. Little Granby roll from his feet. Out of bounds. Quarter of the way through the third period. Tight waist from Ingham off the whistle. Switch attempt from Benny. Ingham once again looking to roll out those wrists. Benny doing a good job keeping his hips up, preventing that hammerlock. Ingham once again breaking down Cale Benny. 1 minute left in the third. Ingham really dominating on the edge of this mat here. Looking for a tilt and out of bounds.
What's your strategy here, Sean, if you're Ingham? So you content with just trying to keep the score as is for the last 50 seconds and get that major decision?
I'm trying to keep this as it is. You've already got the major decision. That's 14 points, which would imply 19-14, which means the only way the Badgers lose this duel would be if Braxton Amos gets pinned, because the Badgers do have the tiebreaker. Actually, I'm not quite sure on that. The tiebreaker goes by pins, but if Joseph Zargo has a pin, and then there's a lot of math going on, Vince. You're asking, I got to start thinking and, carrying the one and all that.
Not exactly your strong suit.
Not quite, but.
White Ingham does have ride time secured. So if you can keep the score as is, there'll be 4 more points for the Badgers.
Once again, closing out his period strong.
And he has done it. Wyatt Ingham, a major decision. He moves to 7-3 on the year and from the meet. But the fact that we saw 2 as the first 2 rounds, that might be the major storyline from this one.
Yeah, set the tone for Utah Valley, but kudos to the Badgers for bouncing back so easily.
And here we go.
High crouch attempt by Forbes. Reshot by Amos.
And Sean, I know that Forbes is obviously the underdog here, but does he dare try and go all out for a pin, which would give Utah Valley the win in this duel?
If I'm Forbes, I'm not searching for the pin, but if it's there, I better seal the deal. Especially in the Greco situation, that upper body stuff that Braxton Amos is just so dominant with. You don't want to fight him on that. But if, by any chance, Braxton Amos exposes his back, you can't let him get back to his belly. You need to end the match there.
No, Amos already with a takedown. If Forwards were to hypothetically get a tech fall, Wisconsin would get the tiebreaker because the pin early on. Compliments of Joseph Zargo. So a pin is the only way that the Wolverines can win it. In the meantime, Amos just
looking for a clean little drag to get behind Forbes. Forbes still defending that low ankle. Amos looking to shelf it. Looking for upper body, possibly. Good job by Forbes of just clearing that.
And Amos just a few years ago wrestled at 197. Now weighing in at 269.
What a big guy. He's got a mean streak, too.
9-1 on the year from Mineral Wells, West Virginia.
Ooh, another slide by from Amos. And another takedown. 6-1 with 1:12 remaining in the first period. Amos just keep wanting to chew up some clock. And because Forbes touched that outside mat, that red one walking around, that's an automatic stall call.
You were on that the last meet we worked at, I remember.
I was, and coincidentally enough, that actually happened with Braxton Amos. Full circle moment right here. Off the whistle, Forbes looking for the quad pod. Fighting hands. Amos with the lift, back to the mat. Short sit is Forbes. Amos looking for the ankle ride, paired with a, looks like a head pinch, maybe a crossface. Jumps around to the other side, big lift here. Amos doing a good job staying on top and applying pressure. Looking for the coffee grinder. Amos staying heavy on Forbes' hips. Get the cross wrist, as well as a potential figure four. A loose one, if that. Switching off to an ankle ride.
Coach Bono has said that he views Amos as a guy whose goal is to win the national championship this year. Just another Badger has continued to improve, has represented Team USA at times. And for Jack Forbes, I got a lot of respect for him, the redshirt senior, because you see, a lot of different majors across all the athletes, but it's not often that you see a chem major. Oh. And that's exactly what Jack Forbes is. Yeah, I have a friend who's a chem major, and I remember he told me he got a 60% on an exam. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry about this. He's like, no, that's one of the best scores in the class.
Oh, my God.
So for you to be a chem major while also going through the grind of being a student athlete, a lot of respect for Jack Forbes.
Absolutely. Jack Forbes looking for the escape. Amos got his foot in the air, elevated. Looking for the trip, and mat return. Forbes returns to the mat. Both Forbes and Amos are keeping at least 1 foot in bounds as of right now. Forbes looking to create some motion, sneak out a little bit. Amos still grinding for that arm bar. Might be looking for another. Looking for the wrist now. Trying to keep Forbes in bounds is Amos. Forbes frees that far wrist. Amos brings that last foot out of bounds, and fresh start in the middle.
I think Amos was content to bleed that much time off the clock.
I think couldn't have been happier. As deep as that armbar was, there's only so much you can do from that angle specifically with that far armbar, But you give him plenty of time to work another one. Wasting no time getting back. Forbes returning back to his belly. Amos looking for the crossface. Stalling against Forbes. Amos continuing his hard pressure on top. 30 seconds left in the second period. Looks like he's going to get a little Turk action going.
You can just see Forbes. He's got to be gassed right now as Amos has just been pulling him around this mat.
Yeah, how much did you say Amos weighed? 269? That is no fun to have on my hips for 2 minutes. Yeah, Jack Forbes just working as hard as he can, but...
Well, it's an uphill battle. I guess the good news for Forbes is that it doesn't matter what the score is if you get a pin, which is what the Wolverines need. But, yeah, it's just called an uphill battle would be an understatement.
I mean, you know what they say. You're in it till you're not.
Yep.
Especially in this situation. I guess they do. Do you not trust me, Vince?
No comment.
Easy escape from Braxton Amos. Forbes looking for his tie. Clearing that.
90 seconds left. What's been an immensely entertaining meet.
Amos looking for the go behind. And he outruns Jack Forbes. It's an absolute grueling match. Braxton Amos once again looking for that Turk. He's been trying for that all night.
He's in line for a major decision. But Braxton Amos always has more on his mind. He has 45 seconds to work.
Braxton Amos continually chopping out Forbes' arms. Looks like he's got an arm bar lined up. Arm bar and a half. Transitions to a crossface. Looking for that wrist again.
"15 seconds left from the field house. Braxton Amos putting the final touches on an incredible Wisconsin comeback. Utah Valley won the first three. They got out to a 10-0 lead. But the Badgers prove again that they are back. They moved to 7-0 on the year.
An impressive showing for Braxton Amos. With everything on the line, he took his offense to the mat today. And just exactly what you want to see if you're Bono. Just a dominant showing on top. Grind fest. And that'll close out the match.
The major decision moves Amos to 10-1 on the year. And like you said plenty of times, it's just so fun with Wisconsin.